Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Korea Campus, your weekly guide to navigating the world of Korea. A 1 hour powerhouse show where we dive deep into the career options available for you locally and globally. We're going to talk about all things society related. All the name of work.
Why is he replaying it?
I'll be keeping you company from now.
Laptop.
Our team is going to be there from now, the 5th of March, all the way to the 8th of March, giving you a beautiful shopping experience so that you can get your Eid shopping out of the way and get to spend the last 10 nights of Laylatul Qadr in peace, searching for the night of power. What do we have coming up on the show? Well, today we will be talking about behaviors that keep you back in life, that hold you back rather in life. What is that behavior? We all know we have that one particular behavior that is just standing in the way of our success. The first step is to acknowledge that there is a problem so that we can begin identifying the solutions to that problem. That is exactly what we will be talking about today. This and a whole lot more right here on 90.4 FM if you're in Durban, 105.6 FM if you're in PNB, and anywhere else around the world on www.alansar.org.za. It is Career Compass. Get ready.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. You are the greatest man we look up to, and I stay faithful.
You are listening to a live broadcast.
Live at the Saxony Westwood Mall, that's where we are. I finally arrived, alhamdulillah, safely, though a bit late, but alhamdulillah, safety is what matters the most. So I am here. Shout out to Spuniso, who's the tech on duty in studio. While we got the rest of the team here, Tobega, Riaz, and Asif, making sure that the show runs smoothly. Like I mentioned earlier, today we're talking about the behaviors that hold you back in life. What behavior is that? For me, I'm going to go first. I am a sleepyhead. I am a sleep lover. I'm actually obsessed with sleep at this point. And I know that has been one thing that has been holding me in life for some time because I'm ready to cancel plans to stay home and sleep. Yeah, it's that bad. So it has affected my networking opportunities. And sometimes I'm just not in the mood to go out there. My social battery is not up to a standard for me to engage or interact with others. So I'm like, you know what, let me just stay home and sleep. And that has been one behavior that has been holding me back for some time. I know sleep is very important, but if you overdo it again, it will stand in the way of your success. What is that behavior? I'm asking you today, 0609041056. The first thing we need to do is to acknowledge and accept that, hey, there's a problem here. Because if we are reflecting, if we're looking back, we see that we haven't made so much progress because we're still in the same spot that we were last year. Are you in that same spot? And I hate it that we only save reflection for January during New Year resolution. It doesn't have to be like that. Any moment given, it's time for you to sit down and ask yourself, am I running in circles? Am I running upwards? Am I running backwards? Where am I heading? Who am I becoming in this process? Are you busy or are you growing? That's the question that I'm asking you because many people are busy every day, rushing to work, attending classes, answering emails, replying to emails, answering calls, answering messages. But very few people step back and actually ask themselves, am I growing? Am I where I want to be? Is whatever I'm doing, all these movements aligning with who I am or the brand that I'm trying to build for myself? So that's the first thing we're going to do. Acknowledge, accept that, hey, this particular behavior might seem to be getting in the way. Yeah, it's not allowing me to grow to my full potential. What behavior is that? Send in those messages. I want to read them on 0609041056. You can spend years working hard, very hard, but moving absolutely nowhere. And we don't want that. Okay. So we need to become intentional from today onwards. All our actions need to be intentional. They need to reflect with our values. And what we're asking you today is, are your daily habits building your future? Are they making you who you are? Are you learning from your experiences? Are you growing? And sometimes you don't have to grow, material wise. You can grow as personal development, character wise, intellectual wise. You can grow peacefully as well. Because sometimes we think that when we have a lot of friends, we'll be happy. And sometimes a lot of friends bring in chaos. You might just survive with a few friends. It's better that way. So whatever behavior it is, maybe you also that person that is a people pleaser. Maybe you think you are valuable only with the network that you have, or the people that you have, or the context that you have. Whatever it is, I want you to be honest with yourself and then be vulnerable with me, because hey, it's a safe space here. We're besties. Okay. 0609041056. So maybe wants to say a lot, but she's shaking her head. She's like, I'm not sure if I'm actually in a safe space to share what I want to say, because what if my managers are listening? So if you sleep at work, it's a problem. Don't say that. Okay. We don't want you to share that with us. But if it is something that you need to develop as a person, as an individual, it might also affect your work ethic. But we're talking about personal growth. What is that one particular behavior that you want to improve in or on? We're also live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you for that. YouTube. So do search Al Ansar page and you'll be able to find us there. It is Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani. Up next, we're talking about your favorite workplace drama.
Give my all and everything, Allahumma salli ala
During this auspicious month of Ramadan, spread hope by bringing relief to those in need. Contribute towards Gift of the Needy's Ramadan hampers. Syria and Palestine from 2,000 Rand. India and Rohingya from 1,200 Rand. South Africa and Malawi from 600 Rand. Your generosity will ensure that those less fortunate feel the true spirit of Ramadan. Donate your zakah now. Standard Bank Gift of the Needy account 272-327-654. Call 031-271-3102. Gift of the Needy, bringing ease to those in need.
Looking for something unforgettable? Take off with Egypt Air and step into the world of discovery. From Johannesburg to Cairo, onward to Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. Experience comfort, warm hospitality, and the pride of flying with Africa's oldest airline. Egypt Air connects you to more than 70 destinations worldwide with generous baggage allowance, delicious onboard meals, and convenient flight schedules. Your journey starts the moment you board. Book now at egyptair.com. Call us on 011 537 7640 or through your preferred travel agency. Egypt Air, a Star Alliance member. Timeless, limitless.
Radio Al Ansar, keeping you in the loop.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
Radio Al Ansar.
Your 90.4 FM, Radio Al Ansar. It is 15 minutes to 5 o'clock.
Message down with love. Through the messengers you chose to guide the hearts that only the darkness knows.
It is 15 minutes to 2 o'clock. Career Compass, a beautiful Thursday, sunny Thursday, the 5th of March. And up next is a workplace drama. The letter we got for this week says, Assalamu alaikum, Kelly. My name is Mariam and I am an dependable worker. Sorry. Sometimes I am dyslexic. I am a dependable worker. I perform my tasks very well and somehow this has allowed my manager to keep giving me more tasks. I work long hours. I try to help others as much as I can, but I'm now feeling exhausted and I face rejection when I say no, as in when she says no, it's not accepted. I don't know what to do because I think I'm being taken advantage of, or is my hard work really being acknowledged? Okay. This is quite interesting. So I'm going to share with you, Mariam, my experience, right? Um, as a high performer, you are always given more tasks and responsibility because you are reliable, because you are trusted. So it's a good thing at first. However, once you begin to feel that you are being exploited, once you feel like you are being taken advantage of, clearly boundaries have not been put into place. So that's where you put boundaries into place. That's where you request clarity again, because it's a workplace. We have to have a way of speaking, have a attitude that is pleasant. And even when we are upset, we need to monitor our words so that it doesn't come off offensive to a point where it burns the bridges and damage our reputation. So the first thing we do for you is to lay out professional boundaries. We've spoken a lot about this here on this show. When your employer calls you at midnight or late in the night or after working hours and you don't want to encourage that behavior, it's important for you to lay that boundary right away. Right away. You can say something like, I appreciate the call or the urgency of the matter. However, I would also love to bring to your attention that I'm currently occupied with something or I'm attending to something. Can we continue with this discussion tomorrow during working hours? Or I'm glad that you trusted me with this. However, I will only be able to complete this task tomorrow during working hours, so that it's known that, hey, I'm hinting it's not working hours. What are you calling me for if it's not urgent, if it's not an emergency, if it's not something that you can ask somebody else to do? Because now there is a pattern, there's been a repetition of bombarding you with tasks simply because you are reliable, you are dependent. You are a great worker. This can go on and eventually you will experience burnout. The other thing is, once if you notice that your employer or your team mate or your superior or anybody that you're working with, for that matter, is giving you a lot of tasks. You're not complete with the first. They're asking you to do the second. You're not done with the second. They're asking you to do the third. You need to seek for clarity, and you can do that by asking, "Hi, can we prioritize which task needs to be done first?" So that you finish the task to completion, so that you make sure you don't miss out important details because you've got this, you've got that to complete, and eventually it will cause pressure and burnout, and that is what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to work by doing what we love, healthy, positively, in a good way, not overburdening ourselves. Okay. And especially if overtime is not accounted for in your workplace, it depends with where you are. Some workplaces, alhamdulillah, mashallah, if they give you some work to complete and you stay behind, they do pay you for that overtime. Other workplaces, it's just vibes. So if you find yourself in a situation where it's just vibes, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, I've got a family, I've got friends, I've got a social life, I've got other things, I've got sleep, like me. I've got other areas of my life that require my presence. So, what makes you think that I'm going to be here 24/7? Of course, you're not going to say that. That's what you're thinking, right? But you need to also well articulate it to say, hey, hold on. I was more than available the first time. However, the second time, trying to avoid this being a norm, I will not commit myself to this task because of prior existing commitments, or maybe, some other commitments that you have. Nobody's going to ask you what commitments. It's not their business, anyways. So, yeah, if you find yourself to be a people pleaser, those are the type of people that struggle with saying no. So, when you say you're facing rejection, when you say no, as in people are not taking that no for an answer, you need to sit back and ask yourself, what are you doing that's allowing people to not respect your no? Sometimes just the answer no is enough. No, full stop. You don't have to over explain yourself and say, hey, so I won't do it. No, unfortunately, I can't make it. But I wish I could have, because I can't do it because, maybe you can tell somebody else, but I would have loved to, but I'm not going to do. Come on, stop. When you say, hi, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it due to other existing commitments or due to one, two, three, that is you being polite and explaining yourself. You don't necessarily have to. Okay, in the workplace, you have to. Please don't listen to me. Okay, in the workplace, you have to explain yourself by just keep it short, okay, and decent. Just say, no, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it due to one, two, three. Done. Okay, you don't have to go on and on and on explaining yourself as to why you'll not be able to make it. All right, quickly, we're going through the soft skill for this week. This week, we are going to talk about something we've mentioned previously, but it wasn't in details, and that is self-awareness, the importance of self-assessment. Self-assessment is such a vital skill to have. You need to know, what are your triggers? How do you come across? What do people view you as? And though you might not have an accurate answer to this, because every single person in your life has a different version of you. That's the beauty of life. You might be a villain to some people, you might be a hero to others, you might be a good person to some people, you might be a bad person to others, and it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to go out of your way to prove a point, to try and be good to everybody. People will perceive you how they have perceived themselves. People will understand you based on how deep they've understood themselves. And it's not in our place to fix what's broken within people. Okay. So if somebody fails to see value in you, that doesn't mean that value doesn't exist in you. It's still there, but it's just not visible to this person because they've chose not to see it. So you need to understand, what are your working style? Who are you in a team? Because in a team, we have different personality traits. We have different people. We have different ways of contributing. So once you are aware of who you are, you have done your self-assessment, you know truly and well the type of person that you are. It makes it easier for you to fit in with others, because remember, in the workplace, we have to be a team player. It's a very important skill to have. It's a very valuable skill to have in the workplace, in society, in communities as large, as a whole. You need to be a person that can contribute in a setting, in a gathering, in a setting with others. It's not always about you. Sometimes you have to be able to sacrifice. Sometimes you have to be able to say, hey, I'm willing to try and go the extra mile. So that's very important. And that comes with self-awareness. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you are capable of and what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths. How do you progress? How do you become better? Very important skills to have in life. And this helps you a lot, especially when boundaries are broken. Because as human beings, when we are together, be it friendships, professional settings, be it marital relationships or love relationships or whatever it is, where there is two or more human beings, which is two, immediately psychology will take place, manipulation will take place, boundaries will be broken, communication might be broken as well. There might be miscommunication, or rather lack of communication. So these things are bound to happen. It's human nature. You just need to be aware of yourself so that you know how to navigate these kind of settings. I wish we can go on, but my time is up and I have to wrap up the show. I want to thank you so much for listening in. Thank you for the lovely messages. Thank you to those that are watching us live from our live streams. We thank you. Thank you to the techs, the teams that are making sure the show runs smoothly, but also thank you to the entire Al Nassar team as a whole, including the event coordinators and planners that have made the Eid Melan what it is right now. We are here at Saxony Westwood Mall. So do make your way here. We've got time. We here from now, the 5th of March, up until the 8th of March, from 11 a.m. until late. Tomorrow being Friday, Juma, we will be operating after Juma Salah, which will be 2 p.m. until late, inshallah. The weekend is even better. If you've got no plans, you can come with friends, with family, with the whole neighborhood if you like. We have a lot of varieties here for whatever you're looking for your Eid shopping. And that's it from me. I just want to say thank you once again for making the show what it is. I absolutely love the feedback that I get for this show. Until then, find your purpose and leave your mark. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.